Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. It's the Tom and Steve holiday show called The Local Show, and we champion local business and local organizations, everything local, and we hope you're doing your fair share of purchasing around here locally. I think everybody's pretty fired up about Micron, so they're feeling maybe more of a local resurgence of, like, what do you want to call it? Excitement.
The economy?
Yeah, and the economy around here, our local economy.
People that have been around a long time, GE had, 20 or 25,000.
Right.
Carrier,
yep.
Yeah, that many or more.
Kraus-Heinz was really
General
fired up.
Motors.
Yep.
I mean, there was hundreds of thousands
New process
of people
gear.
Right, exactly, in manufacturing. And
Yes.
you can go around Carrier Circle now, and not get in an accident because there's just not much traffic there.
Even go bumper to bumper.
This thing's going to be apparently amazing for the community and solve a problem because there's a chip shortage. Tom.
Yes, that's right. So maybe we could solve some issues.
You never know.
I know that Safe Harbor Wills and Trust does solve a lot for people. They allow folks to stay in their home a lot longer, and also not have to pay out all this money when they go into
or just losing.
nursing home care.
So many people.
Yeah.
They say, well, we can't do anything now, but they can.
Right.
And long-term care affects 70% of the people, Tom.
Right.
End up in some kind of long-term care.
Absolutely.
At $15,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And insurance doesn't most of the time doesn't cover that unless you've spent a lot over the last 50 years on that kind of insurance.
Right.
But they'll protect things, put your home in a trust, do things that make a difference. Even if someone's going to go into long-term care or is there already, they can still help. And every week they help people do it. They even teach other attorneys to do this stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But if you haven't made a plan, make a plan. SafeHarborWillsandTrust.com, Tom.
Very nice. It's our pleasure to have back in the chair Dr. Tina Chee. She is the owner of Updesign Primary Care, and it's good to have you back, Doctor. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good.
Good. And last time we spoke, you were just moving into your practice and all that, and doing some personal practice stuff, and you've picked up probably some new patients, one of them being Steve over here, right? And that didn't put you out of business. You still come to work.
It didn't. Well, I'll jump in, Tom. My doctor of a long time was stepping away from the practice and doing some other things, so I needed to find someone. And even there before, I would have to wait months to get an appointment.
Yeah. Sure.
And then even weeks to get someone that's in that office. Mm-hmm. So I find myself going to urgent care things. And last time Dr. Chee was on the show, I'm like, you know what? Maybe this makes more sense. And it did, to have somebody that's at my beck and call. No, that's not it, is it? Tell us about your practice, Dr. Chee.
Well, I mean, pretty much it is a concierge level service that I offer, where patients can call me directly and then be able to get an appointment, pretty soon. I think you called me and I saw you within, later that week.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, and the other benefit is to really have enough time with me. A lot of times you wait 2 months for that appointment and then you end up being, waiting in the waiting area for a good, 30 minutes. I've heard stories where people waited
30?
2 hours.
30, that would have been great.
Yeah,
Exactly,
I've waited an awful long time.
And then you finally get in with the doctor, and then you only get 10 minutes. And then it's oh, did they really even talk to me? Did I get all my points across?
Sure.
Did they even look at the chart completely?
Or you get a PA at first, and then the doctor comes in for 5 minutes and then says, see ya.
It's a frustrating experience in the insurance world. And the part of that is because of all these other pressures. We're basically documenting in the insurance world to be able to, get that payment back because of the third parties. And so in this practice, it's direct primary care. So the doctors and patients, deal with each other. And so I work for you and so you really get a different level of service. You're able to spend 30 minutes, 60 minutes with me and really get through all of the issues and concerns, and
Does that mean you don't have any nurses that work for you in your practice?
At this time, not, but there,
You would eventually?
potentially, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just because, it does help for you to be able to have them give a mundane flu shot or something, right? Because that's easy enough, and you can go on and see another patient.
But she can give the mundane flu shot and maybe learn something along the way.
Well, of course, what she's talking. True. Yeah, get to know the patient, and all that stuff. And by the way, your doctor didn't step away from the practice. He stepped away from you. The practice is still going strong.
Okay.
There was just a little inside.
Maybe. After 25 years, But it is different because I constantly hear people complain about their experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? And so this is a new model. Is this type of business practice model been around a long time, or is it pretty, it feels new?
Yeah, so it's been growing around the nation. I would say, so I think more and more doctors are seeing that, it's not sustainable, right? Medicare is doing another 4% cut, which with inflation is like amounting to 23% cut. And so it's, versus, everyone, all the small businesses have to raise prices on everything. And yet, healthcare somehow is the exception. And so to have a sustainable business, I think, doctors are thinking of how can we do things differently, be innovative, be able to take care of patients that we wanted to when we applied to medical school,
Yeah.
So what if someone has insurance? What do they do then?
So you can still have insurance, my services does not mean that it's not insurance. And so the insurance is still there in case you need to go to the hospital, in case you need other care, imaging or other specialists. So it's there for you as that safety net. But basic primary care where we take care of you and all of that stuff, that doesn't need to go through insurance, and we can actually do it more affordably and cheaper and provide better care.
Can people get financing for your services? Like what,
It's not that expensive.
It isn't. Okay.
Yeah, we're talking $90 to like $115 per month. That's like the price of like, a yoga
that's
membership.
Like,
yeah, right.
But really, that's like a co-payment.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Yeah,
if you go to an urgent care, that's like a co-payment.
Sure,
when you think about it. It isn't. I found it very affordable for what you get.
Well, yeah,
Still
you're
$100,
rich. We understand that.
But it's for what you get.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I
hear you. How long have you been practicing?
So I've been attending for about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and how much medical school? So all told, what do we got? 10, 15 years in the business, or?
Well, I wouldn't include medical school,
Okay,
but if you're including medical school, so medical school's 4 years, then 3 years residency, then 5 years. So,
okay, gotcha.
Don't make Tom add those up. He can't.
No, I can't. I can do basic math. It's Boolean algebra gets me. Then I get.
And by the way, if Tom was a patient, you would stop.
Yeah, okay,
practicing.
sure. So, just really quickly, you've been around long enough, and of course through the COVID thing. Do you think that all the COVID stuff and the politics involved with all that has shaken people's faith in doctors? I've heard people say, I don't trust my doctor anymore. Have you got that vibe in your young career?
Yes, and I think that's the unfortunate effect of us having only 10 minutes with people.
Yeah.
Because then we can't take the time to really delve into the concerns. Like there's always something else going on, right? Some other fear or concern or worry that people have.
Right.
And so that just takes time to get into.
Okay.
So of course, yeah.
So if people want to reach out to you, the 256-0490 phone number, is that
That's
a good
correct.
number? Okay, so the big one, area code, 315.
Yes, 315.
256-0490, updesignprimarycare.com. updesignprimarycare.com. Is that right?
Yes.
There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Chee would love to see you if she's not busy with Steve. That is. All right. Have a great rest of the day, okay? All right. Coming up. Hey, Steve, we're done with the show.
It's
I just
over,
want
Tom.
you to know that.
Time to what is it, set the tree on fire or whatever you said?
Fire up the
Fire
tree.
up the tree.
You go wrap some presents. That'd be nice for you. On behalf of the local show and Tom and Steve, God bless you and your families. Get some physical activity every day and help out somebody less fortunate than yourself. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1 and then again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend because it's more fun that way. Until next week, get down to business. And tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, and of course on YouTube.